Perfect build, perfect game. This is it. I actually ended up not losing a unit this game. Okay, so really quick, going over my style. It is a adaptation of the Brood War style 3-hatch muta. 3 hatches means an economic muta, but 2 bases, not 3-hatch 3 base. It's 3-hatch, or it's not 3-hatch 3 base, sorry, it's 3-hatch 2 base. And the point is to tech very fast to mutas. The mutas give map control because they're very fast units. You can cut off reinforcements so they can't push so easily. They're a harassment unit. You can start harassing them, which forces them to react and forces them to delay their tech and spend minerals on missile turrets, and it's very hard for them to take their third when you have a big muta ball, so it's essentially teching the mutas as fast as humanly possible while being safe and getting full saturation on 2 bases. Then with that map control, what you do is you take bases as you see fit. You could take a third and all in off of 3. Often I take a third and a fourth and transition into whatever. Usually I transition into Ling, Bane, Muta, and then into Ling, Bane, Ultra in the late game. But I've been experimenting with going Bane, Roach, Hydra, and going ranged as well. But let's walk through this really quick. So, this game, by the way, was my record time because I saw he command centered first. It works great against greedy Terrans because it delays their tech so much if they put their third CC down because you get it so quick. So 15 hatch first, as always against Terran. And we can talk about how you could potentially play against bunker rushes and stuff. Now, I am taking gases at odd times. I'm taking gases to put 2 drones in. The reason I do this is because you get more efficiency off the first 2 drones than the third, depending on the gas you take. And I've been doing some study of which gases are better, so I take this pool at 16 as well. I sometimes like taking it at 17 so I can get both queens out simultaneously. If you take a pool at 17 after a 15 hatch, your hatch and pool get done at the same time. That said, I like having it at 15 because I get my lair slightly earlier. And the reason is, I have 100 gas to go to lair immediately because I don't get ling speed. The reason that we have... sorry, I was distracted by this. The reason it's safe is because it's much easier to defend 2 bases, because you only have 1 choke. So he scouts it, and this is not a cheese. Like, of course, you can catch people off guard and just murder them, but it's not a cheese. So notice I'm going to have about 100 gas. Not quite. It's going to be off by a bit, actually. I might have taken the wrong gas here. These are about the same. Maybe considered putting in 1 more drone in there at first. And now, first 100 gas to layer right away. Now, let's talk about some adaptations. You can't just drone to be safe if they don't CC first. If they do Reaper or something, you need 2 to 4 lings and another queen. The second queen really helps because she helps you wall, because she spreads creep and she blocks space, and she's a nice defensive unit. But I know I can skip that queen for now, so I'm going to make the queen later. All I'm doing is droning now. Now notice, I'm taking all my other gases at super insanely early timing, like 31. Essentially right after my lair and right after I finish making that round of drones. And I'm going to go ahead and put 3 drones on the far gases and 2 drones on the close gases. Since, you know, the 2 drones are closer to the perfect saturation of 3 on the far gases. Okay, so now my goal is to just power drones. You see I have 3 there, and still have 2 on these because they're both fairly close. But eventually I will add a 3rd. I need the minerals for drones. And now I need to make a spine here, I need to get a 3rd queen, and I need to make some spine crawlers. So I will do that shortly once the spire goes down. Here we go. Right on time, of course. If you want to build executed really cleanly, it gets down, and that was down at between 6:05 and 6:10. 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 6:05 and 6: And so now I add the extra drone to each of my gas geysers. All the geysers have 2, now have 3, and I'm gonna make my queen, which I should be doing any second here. And I'm gonna make a spine and then start walling, because his Hellions could be at my base within 15 seconds. And actually, haha, look at that. And my saturation was fairly good, so I should have walled a bit earlier. Like, if he snuck the Hellions in, they could be really annoying. 2 is much less dangerous than 4. Notice I'm fully saturated now. I just need one more drone here, and there we go. Fully saturated, and we'll be fully saturated here even after I make the Evo chamber. Perfect setup. And now, notice, when I'm at 50 drones, or 2 queens, and 46 drones, which is pretty much perfect saturation. Oh, I like this song, but I can't find what it is. The recently played for this one doesn't work. Okay, and I'm saving minerals. I don't want to put down my third. If you put down your third, that's a mistake, because I need the minerals to balance the gas. I've been stockpiling gas for a few minutes, since the spire went down, and I need to utilize my gas right when the spire gets done. So notice this timing. I was stopped at 50 drones, made some overlords, and now I'm going to have the perfect amount of everything, and that's why this works so well. This is just beautiful. Look. Boom. 8 mutas, and look at that supply. Look at both my resources in the supply. Perfect. I was so excited now. I was like, this is gonna, this is perfect, literally. It's going to be great. Now, I use the mutas to take map control and to get my third. So my goal now is to take my third and deal some damage with him if I can, which you always can, because at the very least I have to make a couple turrets, burrow a couple widow mines, at the very least. So notice, instead of going straight to the base, I clear out the Hellions first. I know this Hellion's there, so I swing around and clear that out. And then I'm going to be making the third, and once I scout him, I will choose what route I want to go. If I am late, I will just go Ling Speed and Banelings, but if I see he's like going double factory for widow mines or something, or he has no tech labs on his barracks, or just one for the upgrades, then I would try Roach Baneling. But I have both these Evos for the double upgrades, so notice I'm getting Carapace, and then I'll make a decision once I see this. And I'm going to be adding mutas. I'm trying to hit my upgrades and saturate this third. So picking off the tech lab is really important. If you can stop a marine upgrade, you'll be in much better shape. This is the second most important target because widow mines are the single biggest problem for me. And notice I'm making drones. I just made a lot of drones, and I'm gonna keep making drones. And I'm gonna I will probably end up taking a fourth here because I know he can't stop me. And in this case, I'm doing a bit too much damage to the mutas, but assuming that that the mutas don't just kill him, which they really shouldn't, I don't believe. Although they certainly have killing potential. They do delay the Terran enough that you can usually take a fourth, though. And I'm getting melee. Okay, so I killed his factory, and I said, I know he's not going to have many widow mines, which are the bane of my existence. So I'm going to go with melee ups. I'm going to get Baneling Nest, which I'd get either way, getting Ling Speed now, finally. And then I would take my fourth and saturate that, and then partially saturate that, and then make Lings and Banelings with the intent of crushing his push. That's the big thing, because I'm delaying his third so much, he's going to want to push out and deal damage. And so I have to make sure I have Lings and Banelings ready, or Roaches and Banelings if that's the case, to stop his push. And then you have a huge economic lead going into the late mid-game. And then, I'm going on double ups, I tech to Hive and get Ultras. And then do standard Hive tech play, melee up, Hive tech play. And that's my build.